Hey everybody. So I'm going to say something that a lot of people do not say but needs to be said, which is a lot of times there's more empathy for the person who did the hurting than there is for the person who's been hurt. In society, you could have a person who has gone through a traumatic event, a painful thing that has changed the way they feel. They're dealing with trauma, they're dealing with complex PTSD. And people will be sympathetic when it just happens, but give it a few months, give it a year, give it a couple years. If that person still happens to be in pain from what they went through, or they're still traumatized by what they went through, people will say they need to get over it. They're stuck in the past. They're bringing up issues of the past. But let somebody who did something wrong that hurt somebody, let someone bring up a transgression against that person that happened a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and everybody will say, oh, he shouldn't be made to feel, or she shouldn't be made to feel guilty about what they did that long ago. That was a long time ago. They've grown, they've changed. People can grow, they can change. Why is it that people have more sympathy for the suspect and empathy for the suspect than they do for the victim? Why? Because the truth is, as humans, we're all guilty. We all have things that we have done that we've hurt somebody else for. And if we're being honest, because of our pride, our biggest fear is that the things that we've done to hurt people still haunt us later down the line. So we dismiss other people's pain as a standard so that our transgressions will be dismissed as well. It's kind of like we're internalizing and projecting our guilt onto somebody else, onto other victims in other scenarios, other situations. It's even worse when there are people who have hurt other people in that same area. For example, I remember when I told someone about what I was going through and told them the pain that I was experiencing, they're like, well, everybody does that. A lot of women have gone through that. That's not a unique situation. That's normal. A lot of women go through that. That same person who was dismissing my feelings had done the thing that I was talking to this person about that hurt me. So the reason why she couldn't have sympathy for me is because she had done this to someone else, and she would have to confront the pain that she caused somebody else by accepting and listening and providing empathy for the pain that I was expressing in that moment. We don't have sympathy for people's pain, not because we're incapable, because we have a lot of guilt that we need to get off of our chest. When we submit to God and we recognize that there's no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus, it allows us to be more empathetic, because then we can say, you know what? This is what I'm doing has caused somebody real pain. And then we deal with the feelings of feeling bad and feeling hurt, which are normal human things behind our own reactions. But when we take that guilt and shame that we have and we carry it with us and we dismiss it, it means that we're not truly forgiving. It means that we don't feel truly forgiven, and then that's when we dismiss other people's pain. But I want people to just consider that. Why do you, or why not just you, if maybe that's not your case, but why do we have more sympathy for the person who caused the pain rather than the person who's in pain? Pain does not have a time limit. Pain does not go away. You have to actively fight pain. You have to actively seek to heal from pain and trauma. When you've gone through something in life, you have to make a decision to heal. You have to go to therapy. You have to go to deliverance. You have to read about it. You have to journal about it. You have to continue to heal, to release the stain of sin and pain and trauma off of your life. It is not just going to go away because it's been a year or 2 years. While people who've hurt been able to move on from their life, the person who they hurt has to deal with the consequences. If, for example, let's take an example of this. No one pray to God that this doesn't happen. But if you hit somebody with your car, make you feel it might make you think twice of when you're driving to be extra careful, because you're going to remember that you hit somebody's car. It's going to have an effect on you. But don't you think the person who got hit with the car is in a worse off situation than the person who hit someone with a car? We have a tendency to sympathize with the suspect more than we do the victim. So the next time you dismiss somebody's pain, turn them away, say it's been this many years, before you do that, ask yourself, what did they lose? What pain do they have? What trauma do they have from what has happened to them? And instead of judging them and creating sympathy for the suspect, I don't like using the word suspect, but the one who's done the hurting, think about how you are prolonging the healing process of the person who's been hurt, but by denying them the opportunity to feel pain behind what has happened to them. Just food for thought. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon.